Hello and welcome to the Bloomington Walk to End Alzheimer's volunteer training. My name is Julie Moore and I'm the Senior Director for Walk to End Alzheimer's for the Alzheimer's Association Greater Indiana chapter. Our team has put together this short video to give you an overview of the Walk to End Alzheimer's Bloomington event, both to help you feel prepared for your volunteer role this Sunday, September 11th, as well as to empower you to be able to answer questions rather that may be asked of you on walk day. So without further ado, let's jump right in. First, I want to make sure our team wants to lead with thank you. Thank you so much for investing some time with us on Sunday and effort and maybe a little sweat, maybe, a little bit of dirty hands, that sort of thing. But truly your volunteerism means so much to the Walk to End Alzheimer's, to the Alzheimer's Association overall. We are a volunteer powered organization. The walk is the largest fundraiser to support Alzheimer's care, support, and research. So it is a critical funding source for our mission to be able to fund research, to be able to wrap our arms around those who need us the most. But it is also a major entry point for families and people in need to get to know about the Alzheimer's Association and the services that we provide. So truly, you being there on walk day means so much to the 110,000 Hoosiers living with Alzheimer's disease and their more than 215,000 caregivers. So again, thank you so much. Hopefully by now you know when and where the event is, but just it makes sense to start there. So of course, the 2022 Bloomington Walk to End Alzheimer's is taking place on Sunday, September 11th at Switchyard Park Pavilion, which is located at 1601 South Rogers Street in Bloomington. That zip code is 47403 in case you need it for your GPS. So a couple things to know before you go. One, the Walk to End Alzheimer's is a rain or shine event. So definitely encourage you to keep an eye on the forecast and to be prepared for whatever lies ahead in terms of weather. Of course, we will safety is first and foremost. So we'll keep an eye on thunderstorms or lightning or anything of that nature that if we need to take cover. But those extreme weather conditions aside, we will walk rain or shine. So just again, encourage you to be prepared for that. Right up there toward the top is wearing comfortable shoes as well, right? You'll probably be doing a lot of walking, standing, moving that day. So comfortable shoes are very important. We will provide you with a volunteer shirt upon your arrival and check-in at the volunteer area. So it's a white t-shirt with the Walk to End Alzheimer's logo on the front and it says volunteer on the back. So just know that you'll receive that at volunteer check-in. In terms of pants or bottoms, feel free to wear whatever's most comfortable for you. If that's jeans, if that's shorts, if it's khakis, if it's like exercise pants, that's completely up to you. We just want you to be comfortable. And depending on that weather forecast, just consider some of these additional pieces of attire or things to make you comfortable that day. So sunscreen and or sunglasses, a poncho if the forecast calls for rain. Layers are always a good idea. I know depending on whether it's an early walk or a later walk, sometimes it can be a little chilly in the morning and a long sleeve shirt or sweatshirt is appropriate, but then later in the day when the sun comes out, it warms up. So layers are always, again, a good idea. And then I always really appreciate having a drawstring bag or backpack or fanny pack that day to be able to easily carry my phone, car keys, other things that I may need, the things that I just mentioned easily that day. Excuse me. something else that we have found to be really important that morning is make sure you grab a bite to eat and really hydrate and stay hydrated throughout the day. So we will have granola bars and water on site. Certainly you can grab one of those, but I just know things can get busy before you know it. And so it's a good idea to maybe even grab a bite before you even get to the walk. But just be sure either way to take time out to get your nutrition in. All volunteers will be required to complete a waiver, and we really would love for you to do that in advance. You can do so by registering on the Walk to End Alzheimer's website listed there. It includes that waiver language, or if you don't complete that registration in advance, we will ask you to sign a waiver on walk day. And then last but not least, your volunteer report time is going to depend upon your role. And that will be outlined in an email to you, probably along with this video. Next, I want to share a little bit about parking. So parking is available in the lot off of South Rogers Street, adjacent to the pavilion. So you can see it marked here on the screen with this red box, main parking. And again, if you put the 1601 South Rogers Street in your GPS, it should take you to this lot. And then overflow parking, if that lot should get full, is available at the warehouse, which that address is 1525 South Rogers Street. So not too far up Rogers, we have overflow parking as well. The event timeline. So we kind of start at when the virtual gates open or the event opens and work our way backwards. But the committee and some setup volunteers will be on site probably as early as 10 a.m. To noon to set up and put up signage and make sure everything is ready to go for our participants' arrival at 12:30. However, we actually want to be ready to invite guests by noon that day, just in case people arrive early, as we have witnessed so many times in the past. So we'd like to have all set up complete, all volunteers in place, all sponsors ready by 12 p.m. 12:30 is when the event technically opens and our pre-walk activities begin. Some of those pre-walk activities include food trucks that you see outlined there. So we'll have food trucks on site where folks can grab lunch if they so wish, with a portion of the proceeds coming back to the Alzheimer's Association. We will also have photo areas, sponsor tables, refreshments that I mentioned earlier, a promise garden area where each individual participant can pick up their colored pinwheel flower as demonstrated behind me. We'll have a kids activity area, and a couple of other fun things in store, a couple of other performances as well. So there will be a lot to do from when our event opens at 12:30 until the ceremony begins at 1:45. Again, 12:30, the event opens and those pre-walk activities begin. 1:45 is our ceremony. That will last about 15 minutes or so, and we will walk immediately following the ceremony at around 2 p.m., give or take. And then the walk is a 1-mile route. So we anticipate, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. Maybe, of course, there might be people that finish sooner than that. But we anticipate that walk will be winding down between 12:30 and 3, and we'll begin cleaning up and tearing down. So the event layout, here you can see South Rogers Street is over here on the left, similar to the map that I showed you earlier. Here are the parking lots that you saw. A couple of things to point out here. So this image with all of the gold boxes is the pavilion. A lot of our activities are going to be based inside the pavilion, and we want to drive people through that main entrance of the pavilion, which is over here on the end. We don't have a formal registration process at our walks these days. We will just have greeters kind of stationed around this entrance area, asking people if they are already registered. If so, kind of pointing them to all the activities that they can participate in. But if someone is not registered, the greeters will have QR codes that the participant can scan and then register right there on site. You can see here that there will be a donation turn-in table / registration table very close to that pavilion entrance. So capture people as they walk in the door to make sure that we can help them with those processes. Also, the volunteer check-in area, which will be important for all of you, is kind of right in the middle, just a couple tables down from that donation turn-in area. You can see here that a couple of the food trucks will be lined up adjacent to the parking lot. We have a taco truck and a barbecue truck there. And then we also have Rasta Pops, which is, I think, ice cream and popsicles that is going to be stationed right outside the pavilion. And then you'll see a strip of grass here out to the side of the pavilion where we will have our Promise Garden area set up and our Kids Zone area. So again, every single person that attends the Walk to End Alzheimer's will get a colored pinwheel flower. So we want to direct them out to that grassy area to pick up their flower, and also, again, to enjoy some family fun activities. A couple of other things to note about our setup. This table on the far end over here towards the staging area is where we will do photos. We'll have a photo backdrop there and a volunteer that can take photos for folks. Our ceremony at 1:45 will take place inside the pavilion. So this gray box is where will be the stage area, and we will have some seating available for those who need it for the ceremony. Other things that are taking place inside the pavilion are our sponsor exhibit tables. Our refreshments will be set up in there. We will have our first aid kit or first aid station inside the pavilion. And then outside the pavilion, just a couple of things to note. Right here above the splash pad area are going to be public restrooms. So that's where all of our participants can use the restroom. And then you can see here is where the route will be very close to the pavilion for people to start and end the walk. So here's just a slightly different view of the walk route. So again, you see here with the black box, this is the pavilion, and our route is adjacent to that. So we'll start kind of right outside the pavilion and go around this 1 mile loop. So the distance is 1 mile, and certainly people are encouraged and welcome to do multiple loops if they want to go for a longer route. And it looks like there's a couple of areas where people could also cut across back to the pavilion if they didn't want to go quite the mile. But our kind of main distance is a 1 mile route. And then some frequently asked questions that you may hear as you're volunteering at the Walk to End Alzheimer's. So a big one, of course, is where do I pick up my T-shirt, or where do I get my Champions Club gear? So this is something that has changed over the course of the past few years. Pre-pandemic in 2019, we did have T-shirts and Champions Club gear on site. However, we now ship those items directly to participants to the address on file that they used for registration. So again, walk T-shirts and Champions Club incentives are shipped directly to participants to the address on file. We do not have those items available on walk day. To earn a T-shirt, a participant must raise $100. And in order to have received their shirt in time for walk day, a participant had to raise $100 by August 12th. But those incentive items will continue to be earned through the end of the calendar year, with the next round of T-shirts going out about 3 weeks after walk. So if somebody says, I've raised my $100, but I haven't gotten my T-shirt. If they raise the $100 after August 12th, they will be in that next T-shirt report pull, which will be about 3 weeks after walk. So toward the end of September. And again, walk T-shirts and Champions Club incentives will continue to be earned through December 31st. So if someone hits that $100 mark on December 15th, they will still get their Walk to End Alzheimer's T-shirt shipped out to them in January. So I've mentioned Champions Club, and you may be wondering what exactly is a champion, or somebody may ask you that question on a walk day, or they may say, hey, how do I earn that medal or that cool baseball tee or that hoodie? And so you can share with them that those incentives are part of our Champions Club recognition program. So champions are individual fundraisers that raise $500 or more for the Walk to End Alzheimer's. So the champions level is $500 to $999. And at that level, a champion will have already earned their official walk T-shirt that we just talked about. But in addition, they will also earn this Walk to End Alzheimer's Champions Club medal. So they get their T-shirt and the medal. Then anyone who raises $1,000 up to $2,499 is recognized as a grand champion. And in addition to their official walk T-shirt and the medal, they also earn this grand champion baseball tee. And then our highest level of champion is elite grand champion. And those are individuals that raise $2,500 or more for the walk. And those individuals earn everything I already mentioned, plus this awesome gray hoodie to recognize and celebrate them. And I do just want to again mention that these are individual fundraising totals. So sometimes folks will think, oh, my team raised $2,500, but I haven't received any of those items. These are individual fundraising amounts. So it is the amount that an individual has raised on their personal walk page. It is not the team total. Another question you might get are, what do the various colors of the Promise Garden flowers mean? So here you can see that blue it represents somebody that is living with Alzheimer's or another type of dementia. Yellow represents a caregiver or someone who is supporting somebody that is living with Alzheimer's. Purple indicates somebody who has lost a loved one to Alzheimer's. And then orange means that the person supports the cause and the association's vision of a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementia. And we, as part of the opening ceremony, we will have a moment where together we will raise the different colored flowers in unison until all are raised. It's a really moving moment. So encourage you to try to capture, to catch the ceremony in between, either before or after or in between your volunteer roles on walk day. Of course, another frequently asked question or questions that you'll get are where is or where are. So I just quickly wanted to bring this map back up to show, to reiterate where different activities are, different important places to note on walk day. So again, the restrooms are going to be outside of the pavilion over near the splash pad area. That is where we should direct participants to use the restroom, these public restrooms near the splash pad. Food trucks, you can see a couple will be adjacent to the parking lot. Rasta Pops will be near the pavilion. Individuals can pick up their Promise Garden flowers out here on this grassy area near the food trucks. Kids activities will also be out there on that grassy area. Donation turn-in is here inside the pavilion near the entrance. Volunteer check-in is kind of right there in the middle near the entrance. The ceremony will take place within the pavilion. We will have refreshments, including granola bars and bottled water within the pavilion. We'll have a photo area in the pavilion. And then we will also have a first aid kit located in the pavilion should someone need a bandage or some type of minor aid at the walk event. A couple of other important things to note is that we will have armed security at the Walk to End Alzheimer's. We'll have 2 armed officers. One will be in the area of donation turn-in, and the other will kind of be patrolling the broader area just to ensure the safety of all of our participants, volunteers, staff, and attendees. It's very important, in today's world, just, if you see something, please say something. If you see something that doesn't seem quite right or makes you a little worried or unsure, please don't hesitate to notify Alzheimer's Association staff. We'll be wearing purple Alzheimer's Association polos that day. Feel free to say something to one of the armed officers that will be on site, or our committee as well will be marked with teal colored or mint colored green shirts. So you can notify one of our committee members as well. There will be a first aid kit available in the pavilion at the donation check-in area, if not as at a designated first aid table. So if somebody needs a bandage or something of that nature, please direct them to the pavilion in order to get that taken care of. Again, Alzheimer's Association staff will be wearing purple polos that day. So please don't hesitate to grab one of us if you have any questions or concerns that maybe haven't been answered through this training video. And then if you have any remaining questions after watching this, please don't hesitate to reach out to me directly. My phone number and email are listed there. And then again, thank you so much for the important role that you play with this incredible community event, the Walk to End Alzheimer's. It means so much to our ability to fund care and support resources, research, advocacy, education, that really allows us to wrap our arms around Hoosiers that are impacted by this disease. So thank you again so much. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, and don't hesitate to reach out if you think of anything in the meantime.